And now, let's welcome onto court your players for today. From Germany, EVA LYS. And from the Czech Republic, please welcome MARKETA VONDROUSOVA. Let's hear it for our flower girls, Sophie Shah and Izzy Rogers.
And she's asked EVA LYS to serve first, so it'll be the German to step up to the line to begin this match off. A big match for both of them, Stuart. As you can see, this is the way they both got here, and the big match for me was the semi-final between Angelina Kalnina, very, very good player from Ukraine, top 50 in the world. She's had an excellent season. She overcame Vondrousova in that semi-final.
And it was a fascinating match because we really did see the best of Vondrousova in as much as she was 5-3 down in the opening set. She had to survive 3 set points and came back to take it 7-6, and then she won the second set as well, so just underlining her undoubted quality.
And this young woman, EVA LYS, is one to look out for, just 20 years old, currently at a career high of 126, but there's 140 points to pick up for the winner here. And that means good things for her live ranking. She's already at a career high, turned pro 5 years ago, if you can believe it, at the tender age of 15. Already has won 4 ITF titles. Takes the ball really early, likes to change direction. Her backhand has been particularly impressive this week. Spoke a little bit to Yuriko Lily Miyazaki, who plays for Great Britain, who played EVA in the quarterfinals, Stuart. She just said she was very, very impressed by the 20-year-old.
Yeah, she's been so impressive throughout the week. She's enjoyed beating British players as well. Knocked out 3 British players en route to the final, and very impressive performance.
I'm sure that's allowed, is it?
Well, there is a record of British winners here at the Shrewsbury Club over the years, certainly in the men's events, the likes of Dan Evans and Jack Draper. They've both been successful here in the past, but wasn't to be for the British players this time around. Marketa Vondrousova then, age 23, current ranking of 121. She has been as high as 14 in the world, has a very impressive CV, doesn't she? Of course, a French Open finalist in 2019 when she was beaten by Ashley Barty. More recently, the Olympic silver medal in Tokyo. And great to see her back after 6 months out. This is her second tournament back since returning.
Yeah, she's such a good player, isn't she? A career high of 14 in the world back in 2019. Has won title as well, of course, won the silver medal in Tokyo, which was the 2020 Olympics, but played in 2021. Lost in the final there to Belinda Bencic, a former world #1 junior. Such a good player, so crafty around the court, a left-handed, excellent drop shot. I think Stuart will be seeing quite a few of those today. And she, of course, is also in the Billie Jean King Cup team for the Czech Republic, whether she plays or not, as we were speaking a little bit briefly before we came on air. They've got a very, very good team with, of course, Siniakova and Krejcikova and Pliskova. But Vondrousova is in the team going to Glasgow for the Billie Jean King Cup finals. So her year is not over yet, and she would love to win this title here.
It's a capacity crowd at the Shrewsbury Club for this one. Always such well supported. The ITF events that are staged here. Very popular with officials and players as well. Always enjoy the welcome they receive here in Shropshire. And players love playing in front of crowds, don't they? And wonderful to see a capacity crowd. We believe over 500 here today, and looking forward to what promises to be a fascinating final.
Yeah, absolutely packed out stadium. They've actually had to put more seats in to make sure that everyone gets a spot at the table, and this really is a fabulous final. It's been a fabulous draw, hasn't it?
Yes, it's been extremely strong.
Annalena Kalinina, as I said, world number 49. Vondrousova on the right of the screen there, former world number 14. It's quite a coup, really, for an ITF tournament such as this in Shrewsbury to get a player of Marketa Vondrousova's stature. And Eva Lys, like we were saying earlier, is certainly one to keep an eye on. She's starting to make some headlines for herself, Stuart, and she's got quite a career ahead of her, just 20 years old. And we know now, don't we, that you can play well into your 40s these days. Indeed,
yep. It's been a very strong, exceptional strong draw here in Shrewsbury this week. 5 players from the top 100 lined up in this tournament. And it has been fascinating to see the tournament develop. 3 British players did make the quarterfinals, but it is Eva Lys and Marketa Vondrousova who have progressed to set up this intriguing final at the Shrewsbury Club. Very rainy day here in Shropshire, so I'm sure the spectators might have got quite wet on their way in to the Shrewsbury Club today, but of course no such problems. Here we are under cover at the Shrewsbury Club.
First set.
And the first set about to get underway with Eva Lys, the 20-year-old from Germany, to serve.
I
was talking a little bit to the stringer before we came on air, Stuart, and just to get an idea of their string tensions for Eva Lys, it's quite a lot looser than the Vondrousova racket. There's the first of many, many drop shots from Vondrousova. She's such a crafty, clever player, really uses the court very well indeed. Gets a reward for that one.
She does
enjoy.
enjoy.
That Eva Lys will be moving forward quite a lot today.
Letversov.
It's going to be an important part of Eva Lys's hopes that serve, particularly keeping the percentage up nice and high and hitting the spots. A little bit of a nervous forehand there from Lys. Just picking her head up a little bit, and that means the contact point is slightly off centre.
Very nicely put away by Eva Lys.
40, 30. This is
One
the
A,
backhand we were talking about, Stuart. Big thumping one down the line, earns a short ball. She's not the most comfortable coming forward, but that was a pretty routine short high backhand. Wants to take it nice and high and nice and early.
Let's versuch. Yes. Advantage Lys.
Little change up on direction there. She's been going wide down the tee. This time it's a sliding serve out wide to the Vondrousova backhand. Eva so far looking a lot more comfortable on the backhand side than she is the forehand. Not quite assured of herself on that side, and this is all good information for Vondrousova. She'll be taking it in and trying to exploit any weakness.
Advantage Lys.
Super serve right down the tee. Vondrousova's giving it a good long look.
Well, Eva Lys holds then in the opening
First
game of this final. It's always nice to get that first game on the board, isn't it, in a final?
You see that more often. The player wins the toss and puts the opponent into serve first, just to test the nerves. But Eva Lys came through that one, not with flying colours. She was tested, but didn't face the break point, so I think she'll be quite relieved at
MARKETA
that.
Vondrousova to serve.
Vondrousova, by far the more experienced player of this contest.
enough.
23 years of age now, Vondrousova, but so much experience.
She started playing on the ITF circuit in 2014, MARKETA VONDROUSOVA, when she was just 14 years old. Made her first singles final in a $10,000 event at 15. thumping deckhand down the line. That is just such a fantastic shot from Eva Lys. She's got a very good
13,
athletic
15.
position, stays nice and low. And she's looking to step in, drive this ball down the line. Never had any second thought of what to do with this. She knew exactly where she was going to place it.
Forty, 50. Forty, 30.
Lys with a big fist pump there. It was a nice return. Took time away for Vondrousova.
Game, Vondrousova.
Well, that was a really good first serve from the Czech player, sliding the ball out wide. It's such an advantage the left-handers have because, of course, 3 of the really big points of any game do come on that ad court side, and that's where they can slide the ball out to the right-hander's backhand.
Fifteen left.
Stuart, we can see the Ukrainian flag on the Lys visor. That's because she was born in Kiev, Ukraine. Now, of course, represents Germany. Her father is a tennis coach in Hamburg. Oldest sister is also a tennis player, retired a couple of years ago. And that's something that she's really worked hard on, is that moving forward, moving through the ball. Really good position on that forehand shot.
Game, Lys.
And a confident start from Eva Lys, who's a player in terrific form at the moment. She's won her nine matches in a row, having won the last tournament she played, a W60 in Slovakia. And when you've got momentum, it can take you a long, long way, can't it?
Success breeds success. It doesn't matter at what level. It really does help because you have that winning feeling on the big points. You know that you can come through them. It's so important. The mental battle in tennis is something that, if you haven't played this game, you don't really understand, because it is such a tricky part of it. When you're walking on, you're going to feel all those emotions, and unfortunately in tennis most of them are negative in the head. So you've got to try and be as nice to yourself as possible, try and stay in the present as much as possible as well. Not very easy. That's why so many of these players do work with sports psychologists, and if they're not on board like they are for Iga Swiatek, a lot of players can't afford that, well then they're on the end of a phone line. Players are often in touch with their mental coaches just to work on the finer details, and especially ahead of a big match like this.
Busy day ahead for MARKETA Vondrousova. She will be back on court a little bit later to play in the doubles final as well.
Let's first serve.
I think she'll be quite grateful, really, Stuart, of all the match practice, because as we talked about in the warm-up, Vondrousova hasn't played since Stuttgart indoor clay court tournament in April, where she lost to Ons Jabeur in 3 sets. We know if she wins this tournament, Vondrousova will be back inside the top 100, which is very much where she belongs. But right now it's all about getting her match practice and getting her ready for 2023. That's when she'll look to make another mark on the top tennis tour. A little lack of footwork there from Vondrousova, who looks, I have to say, slightly fatigued in these early stages. Needed to move around that forehand a lot more and give herself some more space. Eva Lys has got a clear game plan, and that's to keep the ball down the middle and cut off the angles.
13-14.
And unlike Vondrousova, Lys has not played in the doubles event this week.
Eva Lys just putting up her racket, and apologies because her shot here did hit the net cord. Vondrousova adapted fast, but she couldn't really cover the court. She was coming there, you could see her, to cover the line, but Eva Lys goes back behind the Czech player, gets her just reward, and we've got our first break.
Been a good start then by Eva Lys, who leads by 3-1 in this opening set at the Shrewsbury Club.
Oh, she's just getting better and better.
15 left.
And that's a really good indication when Eva Lys starts hitting forehand winners. You know she is confident. Another forehand winner. She's completely dictating play right now. She's the one with the much superior court position. Vondrousova just trying to hold on. That is just exceptional, because the chip forehand return from Vondrousova, we can see how deep it lands here. Gets the baseline, and it's a beauty of a backhand. Those winners are racking up.
Game, Lys.
Well, what a start for Eva Lys, this 20-year-old from Germany,
4-1.
who leads by 4-1 in the opening set. And if there were any nerves at playing in this W100 final, we're not seeing any evidence of it so far. Been a very assured and composed start from the 20-year-old.
It was a close service game, wasn't it? The first one had a couple of juices there and got over the line eventually, but the last 2 service games have been absolutely superb. Lys holding both times to love. As the fans here in Shrewsbury enjoy a few snacks. Barcelona fan.
Well, they love their tennis here in Shropshire. They've been hosting ITF tournaments here at the Shrewsbury Club.
City.
They enjoy their sport here in Shrewsbury, the county town of Shropshire. And it is a regular venue for both men's and women's tournaments. This is the biggest they've staged.
Yeah, $100,000 on the line. That's the total prize money of the tournament. Winner of this match will get a cool $15,239 US. Not bad for a week's work.
Not bad at all.
About your salary, isn't it? Stu? That's what I've been told anyway.
30 love.
Runner up 8,147. Winner gets 140 points. Losing finalist 85.
Love.
Key game this, isn't it, for Vondrousova? Trailing 4-1 in this opening set. We'll want to reduce that deficit.
Let's for serve.
Double fork foot and Josepha. She won't mind at this stage. Just really going for two almost first serves on that occasion. Missing slightly wide.
Game Vondrousova.
Manages to see that game out.
This
So
leads 4 games to
4-2 to EVA LYS. Current ranking of 126 in the world, which is a career high.